Hi guys, today I will tell you how much and how often you should practice when it comes to dancing to achieve the best results and to learn the fastest. I prepared an ultimate guide for you. This will help you in your practice sessions. You will learn how to practice dancing successfully in the most efficient way. You can download it at the link below, and I'm very excited for you to start implementing those game-changing tips when you practice. So you might know that practicing is the only way to develop dance skills and become confident when it comes to dancing in front of others. It should be obvious that just from watching videos, nothing will change, right? When we try a dance movement for the first time, we will feel awkward and disjointed, and it's just not going to feel good, right? It will be uncomfortable, and that is totally normal. With practice, we will notice that it gets easier to do it. We'll start to feel a bit more comfortable with every single repetition. That's because we strengthen the connection between the brain and the muscles. We gain body awareness and motor control, and you might have heard of this term. It's called muscle movement memory or muscle memory. How does it work and what it is? I'll explain. It's not really that your muscles remember the movements, it's your brain cells remembering the muscle activity. So our brain, it stores the information whether the movement is right or wrong. So it focuses on the right action, and that action becomes permanent through repetition. When such movement is stored in long-term memory, it takes less brain activity to recreate it. And we can repeat it easier, quicker, and the movement, it just starts to feel more natural. That's how it works. How much should you practice? So there are still debates as far as how many times you need to work on something in order to create that muscle movement memory. And numbers range between 300 to 500 for the movement to even just start to click, and to thousands of repetitions if you want to perfect a movement. So for it to become natural. If it doesn't look good on you right away, it's not your fault, it just needs some time. So getting good at dancing is all about numbers and repetition. And one thing is true, the more you practice, the better you will be at dancing. It sounds like a lot of work, but I think it's a positive thing, because that means that you have an equal chance on getting the movement right and making it look good on you as a person who is a natural born dancer, right? Who has a talent for dancing, because it tells you that you just need to practice a certain amount and you will be able to dance as well as a person who was, a born dancer. And by the way, the natural born dancers, they're not coming out of the womb moonwalking, right? That's not possible. They still have to put in the work and build the skills. Let's talk about how often you should practice. I'm a strong believer that the regular practice is crucial, or else nothing will work. It's far more productive if you practice 30 minutes to 1 hour at a time more regularly, like every other day or every 2 days, than practicing 3 hours all at once, but every 2 weeks. It's not going to work as well. I suggest trying out different methods to find what works best for you. Once you practice, assess different practice intervals and the time spent practicing, and answer these questions. This will help. First of all, was it easier? Did it feel better to dance when you practice more often? Were you able to remember more movements when you practice more regularly? Or are you burning out because you're just practicing too much, right? And then you can just adjust your practicing schedule as you go. But this is the most important thing. What you practice matters. So if you spend countless hours working on, for example, just the moves, but you don't have rhythm, you won't be able to use these movements correctly, even though they might look great on you, right? But we have to be able to use the moves that we practice, otherwise it's a waste of time. You have to recognize what you struggle with the most and make a plan to work on that, so that you can practice the things that actually matter. You can also work with a teacher to create a plan, so that you know exactly what to fix, how to fix it, and you're just not, wasting your time practicing totally random things. So if you are coordinated, you have rhythm, but you don't know what to do on the dance floor, of course, practice the moves. But if you have trouble learning the moves, where you have to move different body parts together, it just doesn't look good, it's a mess, that means your coordination needs work. So find the movements where you only move one thing at a time, just one body part, start with those, and then gradually add more movements to it so that your coordination improves. If you struggle with rhythm, I have plenty of tutorials on rhythm, by the way. I will link the playlist below for you. Try listening to different songs, identify the beat in them, and try to match simple movements to that beat. movements where usually you just move one body part at a time, so it's not too confusing. That way you have a specific plan, you're working towards accomplishing your goal, and you are building your skills. You're not just learning random moves. If you struggle with learning on your own, for example, if you're not sure if you're practicing correctly, you want to learn with a teacher, it will be 100 times more effective. If you learn with teachers' feedback, they can correct you, they can answer your questions. You're not going to be doing something wrong without realizing it and creating bad habits. That's not good. It will slow down your learning process, so we don't want that. I talk about what skills are necessary to be able to dance in social settings in this video. You can click, there will be a link below. And I also have made a detailed 45-minute masterclass, 45-minute training that I recommend watching if you want to have not only the skills but also feel comfortable dancing in social settings. I think it will be very helpful. I will also include a link below. Here's a warning, because you might find a lot of excuses not to practice. This is super common. And the most common are, first of all, I don't have space to practice. Well, if your goal is to be able comfortable dancing in social settings, which I think if you're watching this video, this is your goal. I'm assuming that this is what you want because that's what I teach. If your goal is to be able to dance when you go out, obviously you won't have an entire dance floor to yourself, right? You will literally have this much room on the dance floor. So this means this is the amount of space that you need to practice. That's it. So clients in my online program, for example, they practice in their kitchens, they practice in their bathrooms. That happens a lot as well. And another excuse, I don't have a mirror. No space for full-length mirror. Fun fact, when I was practicing, when I was just learning how to dance, I mostly practiced in the bathroom because first of all, this is where I had the mirror and I had some space and I had privacy. So yeah, I could only see my upper body, but it was great, you know, for practicing chest isolations, shoulder movements, arm movements. So that's not an excuse. No mirror, it's not an excuse. Plus, remember, there won't be a mirror at a club or at a party, at a wedding, right? Usually there isn't. So you have to get used to practicing without watching yourself so that you're not relying on visual feedback. And a very common question I get is, if I practice, how long will it take me to learn? I cannot speak for other teachers, but students using my method, students in my online program who start with 0 skills, no rhythm, no coordination, no ability to freestyle, they are able to dance with confidence in a matter of 8 to 12 weeks. So this is how long it takes to become comfortable on the dance floor. And what I recommend in the program is practicing only 2 to 3 hours a week. That's all you need. You don't have to waste time practicing random things every day where you don't have a plan, you don't know what the result will be, which a lot of times when you're learning on your own, unfortunately, you just don't know. You don't know how many hours you have to put in to get results. It's a guessing game. And I'll be honest with you, I started by myself, I learned for years, but you can only get as much out of it, right? After a while, of course I needed the help of a teacher. I actually worked with around 30 teachers, but that's a subject for another video. Anyway, when you're practicing on your own, like I said, make a plan, make your own plan. Even when you are a beginner, you know what you're struggling with, right? Obviously, if you don't have rhythm, if you don't know how to match the movements to the song, you know that you struggle with that, right? It's not like you need somebody else to tell you what skills you're lacking. You know what needs help, right? So again, once you know what it is, work on fixing it. And I know it's easier to learn the moves, right? And there are thousands of tutorials on that. There's a lot of options and it's just more attractive to learn the moves. But if you don't have the skills, trust me, you will either not be able to use those movements at all in social settings, or you will use them, but in your head, you'll be thinking, am I doing something wrong? Is somebody watching? Is somebody looking at me funny? Does it show that I don't have rhythm, that I have no idea how to do those moves? Make a plan and follow it. You'll see it will make a huge difference. Again, you can download my guide below this video. It will be also very helpful. I included way more tips that I could include in this video, so it will be, I think, very helpful for you to learn. And if you want my help, if you don't want to learn by yourself, you can apply at the link below to work with me inside my online program. I will be super happy to dance with you, and I cannot wait to see your results. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. It was a different kind of video. Let me know if you want me to create more videos with the tips. Remember that I started from 0. I was like you, I was worse than you. And I did manage to learn how to dance, not only to become a good social dancer, but actually a professional dancer as well. So I have a lot of tips on how you can improve your skills and how you can be more comfortable when it comes to dancing. I cannot wait to share them with you. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of videos, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you liked it, and comment. Bye.
I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my